Hi, Carmen.
Hello.
Hello. How's Sport Beach been so far?
Oh, actually fantastic. Went to the Cleo's dinner on the first night. That was really cool. I got to see some amazing athletes win some awards and get recognized.
Oh,
so
wow.
A really special thing done at Sport Beach. It's fantastic.
It's been so much fun. So, Carmen is VP of Marketing, and I think what's really exciting about what you're doing is that you're bringing both, the heart of a leadership, but also a new way of looking at marketing. We're talking about AI, we're talking about predictive ways of uncovering insights of marketing through data. And there's a lot of big innovations happening on the hardware side that are going to inform how people market, do brand work, and connect with consumers. One of those big things is a big headline, I think, that Qualcomm owns last year and currently into this year, is that AI is becoming the new UI. And it's transforming how people are thinking about digital and about how they're connecting with their devices. Can you talk a little bit about how you think that's going to transform marketing and where you see the leadership and the vision going in that space?
Yes, 100%. As technology creators and enablers at Qualcomm, we have the amazing power in our hands of creating technology that unleashes creativity in people. And the concept around AI being the new UI is really going to help the creativity of technology about how we engage with our devices come to life more and more. So I think we've seen an explosion in it over the last year already in the time and what it's taken for people to come up with new ways to integrate with our devices and engage has just been astronomically accelerated. And everyone's super excited about it. The uptake, I think last year we were talking about AI, and this year it's actually in everyone's hands. They're using it on a daily basis to help solve problems and engage with things in a new way. But it's definitely going to transform how marketing does. The middle of the funnel and search, super important, but how we create content to feed those new UIs that are out there and AI and that engagement is just astronomically going to be different. When we think back to what we did even with 5G as an example, the way we all engage today with video on our phones, people calling and FaceTiming back, or doing video back home, video calling, or even TikTok and the way Instagram and all that can do, and Snapchat with live video, and doing that over 5G is all enabled by Qualcomm technologies and the vision to bring that to life. So that's an example of just something in the very short past that has changed dramatically because of technology. So here we're sitting at the evolution of that now as it relates to AI and how that's going to engage. And really the marketing community and the creative community is the one that can really help bring all of that to life. So it's an amazing time. Such a great thing to be a part of.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And maybe could you explain a little bit the concept of AI as the new UI?
Yeah, so I think we've all been experiencing it already in our lives, and we're just not realizing it's AI engaging with it. Even our voice to text and voice conversations that we're having and asking for mapping and directions, that is just going to transform our whole user experience and make it actually a more human touch and different ways of engaging. It's also going to guess and be more predictive when it understands our own habits and how we engage. And so the way that messages come back or suggestions come back, there's so much of it happening already in our lives and we just don't realize it. Now the transformation of it is we as individuals and people will start controlling that ourselves more. So we're technology partners that even Uber has been providing it to you already. And now we're just going to start having it more customized actually to us, to you, to me.
Right. And so I think what's interesting, we're at Sport Beach, it's all about sports. So on the one hand, there is this big disruptive movement, new technologies, new hardware, but at the same time, you're investing into sponsorships, and that's still a big part of your strategy. How do you pair the two together, and how do they make sense as one big vision for the future of Qualcomm?
Yeah, so our sports partnerships are very important to us because it's the intersection of what is people's passion points in their lives. And technology and sport actually have a lot of connections together. Anyone who's into fitness themselves already understands how much technology is helping to power us improving our own fitness levels. But at the core base of it, you're still human. And the human connection of it is essential. The passion we feel about a game, the unpredictability about a game, the excitement of it, seeing people that we love and cherish and look up to do well is part of the emotional aspect of it. So there's that piece, and just the power of it helps us accentuate our brand. So our Manchester United partnership is really key to our strategy. when we've been going into this space, we know we have to engage with consumers in a new way that we haven't done before and get our brand presence out there. And the power of sport is one of the places that you can do that at an accelerated pace, and also do it in what is, from a marketing perspective, it's expensive but also economical at the same time, because you can reach so many eyeballs so fast.
Right.
And so our Manchester United partnership, we are the largest front of shirt deal ever done. But that Snapdragon power on the front of the shirt, every game is the equivalent of a Super Bowl. But think about that. We're getting the eyes and the passion of all of those fans. Right. People walk up to me on the street after they've seen me speak on it and tell me how much they love it and how Manchester's their team. People also tell me Manchester's not their team, Manchester United's not their team, which just gives the fun and the lively of it. But we also do it with our technology integration. So one of the pieces that our team did recently was showcasing our PC and how the AI capabilities brought forth from our PC and our Microsoft partnership with Copilot Plus enables the sportscaster for Manchester United to do his whole entire 2 days and all weekend on one battery life with over 20 hours of battery life, all while running AI, and that's helping him to shorten, understand how he can do his commentary better and make it more efficient for him in his day and really focus on the game. So, that's an element where we're showcasing technology as integrated with bringing sports to life.
Right. And we remember for the marketing summit how the amount of reach, the amount of brand awareness that now Snapdragon has is insane.
Yes.
They don't always know what the products are, and that's maybe part of the next mission for 2025, but they certainly know the chip and the identity and the logo.
Yes.
So for 2025, what's going to be the big move forwards, and what's the big challenge that you've got ahead?
Yeah, well, 2025 for us, we're in the middle of it, but we're looking both what's been successful so far and what we need to do in 2026 to reach our objective as a company. And so what we know we need to do is we're making great headway from a brand awareness perspective. Now we're continuing to connect that with our technology, our chips, how we're empowering and enabling our partners' products to be successful. The other element is showcasing what AI can do in people's lives and bringing that to life more. So that's the challenge we have from a brand perspective that we're actively working on now, is we've got that brand awareness and now bringing it down to device. People have known us in our phones in Asia for a long time, and we need to build our brand awareness across both the United States and Western Europe as well.
Right. And so a lot of products that people know and love are powered by Snapdragon, but they may not know it, or powered by a Qualcomm chip. It's in so many devices.
Yes.
How is retail playing a part, and how are you going to create that step so people start to seek out Snapdragon in devices?
Yeah, so you're totally right on. We are powering basically everything in everyone's hands. Today they just have no idea about it. And then also new technology that people are loving, like the Meta Ray-Ban glasses.
Right.
We're in those as well. Bose headphones. And so in addition to our entrance, it's been a year now that we've been in the AI PC category, and it's just astronomically taking off. But the retail experience is super important to the PC ecosystem. And so that is a new capability that we're standing up, is our strength in retail and bringing our PC category to life to help showcase the power of Snapdragon. In certain instances, we're actually bringing it together with our phones, with the Meta Ray-Ban glasses and those pieces. But also the PC ecosystem is very important to connect with the device manufacturers. HP, Dell, Lenovo, Acer, Asus are all important partners in that process. And so we are actually bringing a new retail experience to life with Snapdragon tables in stores that will help us showcase our technology story with all of those partners.
And how is it working with retailers? And is there a healthy, sort of tension there at the same time? Because you're kind of, how does all this brand ecosystem work? And when Qualcomm takes sort of dominance but presenting someone else's product, or how does that whole mix
How does it work?
Yeah.
Actually, it's going super well for us,
Okay.
to be fair. The retail environment has been very welcoming. We've been warming it up for a while, and we have certain partners across the broader ecosystem that are really leaning in. They're very much welcoming an additional silicon partner into the play and want to see the showcase. They also, I've come from the PC industry for quite some time, and they're very much welcoming the resurgence of a new technology into the space and transforming how it engages with the end customer and helping make the category be alive and be exciting. And they're very welcoming to that. We have a couple of retail partnerships that we like to highlight. You know, Best Buy is actually a very important one, as we would imagine, and their landscape is changing with retail media and those pieces and leaning in with that. They have a play. Amazon has a play, but it's a little bit of a different play. The one we love to highlight is actually Harvey Norman out of Australia. And we've done full funnel integration of marketing with them. They own a lot of media properties and sports partnerships and that automatically. But they were some of the first to really talk about next gen AI in their store and in-store experience. And they're also a very assisted sale. And in our category, we have like a greater than 20% market share with them, and we've grown that in the last year.
Wow.
So that is an amazing amount of market share growth in 1 year with the strong partnership from retail.
And then when in the retail space itself, how do you tell the story of the sort of the advantages of having a Snapdragon product? I can see the vision, right? It's really clear. There's the partnership, the sponsorship, the brand awareness, retail, where there's clearly a space that'll be dedicated to Qualcomm and Snapdragon devices. How do you then tell that story, and how do you make those devices more compelling? How are you beginning to build the story around? So you mentioned battery life, AI. How are you going to convince consumers that this is something that they need, and explain to them that story?
Yeah, so you're talking about what is the last, whether it's 3 clicks or 3 feet.
Yeah.
But we have to take it back from the broader brand perspective first. So one of the things that we knew is people have to know who we are, as we talked about earlier. Snapdragon, the brand itself, we have been on a very strong strategy this year to make us unmissable.
Yeah.
So in the key markets that we talked about, we've got Times Square ads running, we have Piccadilly Square running. So key like commerce centers where we're getting a lot of eyeballs, in addition to our digital properties and doing key sponsorships with Disney and things like that. But the point in those is every time we're being very deliberate about our message and our words. We're talking about the strength and power of Snapdragon holistically. We're talking about long battery life, over 22 hours of battery life, the longest battery life of any AI Windows PC out there, which is significant. We talk about the competitive processing power that we have compared to the competition, and really trying to demonstrate what's out there to help us both from a Windows ecosystem perspective and talk about the strength of that in addition to the AI message. And as you carry that through all the way through to retail, the same messages will show up.
Yeah.
Same creative strength being in there. But then you have to bring it to like the actual explaining of it, because many consumers still don't know.
Right.
Battery life they get, performance they get, but then the AI experience, that's where the in-store experience and people even telling that story is really important.
Right. And you've always been really good at explaining, at knowing what the unintended consequences are of a certain product revolution over another. What do you tell people when they ask you that tension around AI and in the same way that 5G needed to be explained, like why? Why do I need 5G? I'm already watching video quickly.
Yes.
How do you explain AI and why people need it?
Yes, so I'll actually give maybe a really great example that was done by our India team. And it's not just about why you need AI, but it's why you need on-device AI and the power of what is the neural processing unit, the NPU, to help enable that. Because AI takes so much processing power to be able to move it to the NPU and do it on-device is really a key value prop that we have with our product. So our India team actually did this fantastic spot of a gentleman on an airplane when he couldn't get Wi-Fi, okay? And he used the Anywhere LLM in order to do research for his project, ask it questions, and help him prepare. And he's disconnected from Wi-Fi. All of it can happen right there on his NPU. And it was just a really great spot that the India team did very genuinely.
Yeah.
And that is, showcasing the customer use case about why that's important.
Right. So it's really proof points, real world use cases,
Exactly.
not just the big headlines and the data.
Right, and
stats.
that's in the consumer space. You can
Yeah.
do the same thing with commercial space and the privacy that people need for their information and protecting it and not really wanting to put things in the cloud all the time. And also the quicker processing power that happens because it's on your device versus going to the cloud and back.
Okay. And then you mentioned that great Indian campaign. I'm curious, as you're building briefs that are more and more informed by data and predictive analytics, how do you ensure that it doesn't end up with sort of an echo chamber or sort of vanilla commercials because everything is grounded in data? How do you continue to have, concepts and ideas that are very creative and cut through?
Yes, so the space is changing so fast that our work with ISVs and app creators and those new technologies are bringing more and more capabilities to life every single day. And we have a big program actually that we're running to help incentivize certain people to do
Right.
it more than others as well. Not more than others, but to help showcase the strength of it. And making sure we really hit on customers' passion points and things that drive value for them will make sure that it's not vanilla and not just text speeds and feeds, because it comes down to that endpoint use case like we talked about earlier. And how does it truly transform people's lives in a way that helps them continue to still be more human and do more of what they love every day. And I think that's an important aspect of it is AI is enabling us to be more of who we actually truly are and open up our creative space by providing quick hacks in order to do things quickly that would have taken us a lot of time, but are actually quite annoying.
Right.
Like transforming those types of things every day is really the benefit of the technology we're bringing to life for everyone.
Very cool. And so just before we go,
Yeah.
I think whenever we're in the room with you, we can sense your energy. There's an excitement, there's an energy with your team and and I think you're the driving force in there. What is like fueling your fire at the moment? Is there anything you saw here or any conversations that are like, that's what I'm looking forward for 2026 and that's kind of keeping me going and getting me excited?
Yeah, I would say there's two things about it. First of all, we've been looking for PC resurgence in this space for quite some time.
Yeah.
And the fact that we actually have something today that will truly transform people's lives, in addition to thin and light, it is how the technology and the software and how the hardware technology is helping to enable these new experiences. So that's pretty exciting for anyone who's been in the PC industry for a while. The
Yeah.
phones have been there, and helping all that come to life in that space is great. The second part is how much marketing plays a role in bringing that to life for people. These are rich human stories, and people get excited about how technology can transform lives. And being able to showcase the power that marketing has to transform our business and drive business growth in this space is a phenomenal dream for a marketer to have. And we're very
Sure.
excited about it.
And I mean, the big advantage of Qualcomm is that actually all the benchmarks show that the chips are better.
Yes.
And so that's a lot of fun for creatives because we just need to demonstrate it and just show good experiences that demonstrate how much better it is.
Yes,
So-
there's a really cool part of going and taking space and challenging the status quo. And when you know you have powerful technology that just has the opportunity to rock the world,
Yeah.
you couldn't be in a better place.
And you kind of also have to show the use cases because
Yes.
it's completely new territory. So these are the use cases for it.
Yes.